hailing frequencies are open.
And we are live here on Star Trek Livingstone, the Modifius actual play Star Trek Adventures roleplay game. I am your host, Games Master Stu, and with us today, one of us who isn't very shy, we have Amy as Lieutenant Commander Davok, ever logical Davok.
Hello.
Hello, we have Lieutenant Tana Sool. We have Chris with us, not here as Chief Zankir above Gronnahk.
Well, maybe in a little interstitial, but no, mostly as Tana. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I was saying before the stream went live that I forgot her voice, so this could be interesting.
You mean you didn't watch the previous stream just before this to remember what we were doing?
Just to try and remember.
Oh, no, of course, I always do that, Matt. Every time we play, I come fully prepared for this.
Always.
And listeners, you can catch up with the previous adventures of Star Trek Livingstone on our YouTube channel, Hailing Frequencies. Link is down below. We have with us Dr. Bosh. Any opportunity to plug. Yeah. Dr. Bosh as Matt. No, Matt as Dr. Bosh.
At this moment, I'm trying to remember back to the last stream, and all I can remember is going into the bar and punching someone in the face. But I'm pretty sure that would happen somewhere else.
Okay. Yes, that's. That was the other game. Yes.
That was last Wednesday.
Is that what you did? Is that what you did at work? I mean,
that's tomorrow.
We have both sides of Ed. We have Commander Eelin, Wraal, and Chief Reggie.
Hello. Yes.
Fantastic. Now, I made the joke last time about, Andorian on the right side and left side and it being wrong or right, and that episode of the original series, didn't I?
I have swapped, yes. I figured in 2 episodes, one of them is going to be right, or one of me is going to be right, and one is going to be a vicious criminal.
Excellent. And of course, not leading us today, because it's not Captain. Well, we might hear from Captain Wagner over the comms, perhaps. But Lieutenant Kitus Valor, Alastair.
Hello, everyone. Yes, looking forward to playing a bit more as Kitus, and I'm sure Captain Wagner will make appearances over the communicators.
I imagine so. Do you know what I was thinking when you gave me the name of your secondary character? I kept thinking, that rings a bell from sort of like, where do I know the name Kai?
Oh no, have I accidentally stolen it from somewhere?
No, you haven't. It's a name. It's from sci-fi, but it's like Kitus. It's from Flash Gordon. Clytus was what was in my head.
I just give it Kitus Andronicus.
Kitus Andronicus, very good bit of Shakespeare there. Lovely. So how are we all doing? We all hot enough?
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
Got our fans
air conditioning.
Going. Oh well, you can just cough.
Up in north, we just open a window.
Yeah.
Got windows, pure luxury.
Yeah.
Add a wet paper bag. And there you go.
A bag.
Paper bag. Aye, we had it hard. Yes. Oh my goodness. When I first moved down south from the north myself, I was at a dinner party for a guy who was ran the local Chamber of Commerce, and it was a dinner party with some very well-to-do people down in Cornwall. And somebody made this frightfully funny joke about B-days that was very amusing, and I just said in my broadest Yorkshire accent, B-days. Oh, aye, we got them up north. We call them flannels. You could have heard a pin drop as the table went absolutely silent and everybody stared at me. I was not invited to join the Chamber of Commerce in Falmouth.
Anyway.
Their loss.
Yeah.
Enough about that. Speaking of faux pas and getting into hot bother, how we are feeling on this planet of Organ 3.
There's big, horrible, nasty things under the surface.
So
Let's
you've
go
been
down and
told.
see them.
So
It's always
you've
a good
been
idea.
told. Yeah. But what do we think about the whole situation here? Because it's, I think you said at the end of the show last time, Ed, it's an interesting dilemma, this one, isn't it?
Yes, it's. In fact, it is very Trek, isn't it? Because a lot of the stories that concern vaguely Prime Directive ones are when and how do you interfere? What constitutes interference? Does imposing a better set of morals on a society, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And often in Trek, it just leaves that question hanging. Make up your own mind, but see what the characters did. As we know, there's plenty of captains who've thrown the Prime Directive out the window when it's been convenient, or when they've had sufficient reason to do so, and presumably a damn good explanation to various admirals afterwards.
Leave the Atlantis alone.
Well, I mean, yeah, and let's not mention Janeway. But Captain Wagner, he's a bit of a stickler for the rules, isn't he?
He sure is, yeah. And I think he's going to be torn between his kind of Federation aspirations to try and put his arms around the problem and provide a solution that takes care of everyone, and his strong wish to follow the rules and not violate the Prime Directive any more than it has been here. So I think this is a good quandary for him to be in the middle of, and I like the fact as well that he's got a few options in front of him here. So I'm looking forward to getting to role play out how that works out for him.
And what about the rest of the team? What logical advice might Davok give?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. that's a fair enough. I mean, there's logically either way you can look at this, can't you?
Yeah.
But
it's one of those problems which feels like it has degrees, doesn't it? There's this sort of, well, we don't want to let all these people die. Maybe we can do something about whatever's going on under the surface. And then there's, on the other hand, there's the sort of scientists' plan to fly the colony off into space and accurately crash land it on another world, which seems maybe a bit much in another direction. So
yeah.
it'd be fun to
I'm
look at.
not a big fan of that plan, really. It doesn't seem right.
And let's not forget, there is already a sentient species on that other planet that has also not developed warp technology.
Yeah, two for one on breaking the Prime Directive. Probably not where Captain Wagner wants to be.
Yeah.
Well, then there's millions and millions of deaths. It's a real.
But then that's not
quandary.
our fault, is it? Like, if we hadn't have turned up, it would have just happened.
There is that aspect, yes. There is that thought. What might so Zankir is on the ship with Captain Wagner, so we didn't really hear from Zankir last week. I'm sure we're going to hear more from Tana this week. But how might Zankir be counselling the captain at the moment through this?
So I've been going back and forth in my head about how Zankir might feel about this. I had it kind of in my mind last game that he would be very staunchly for getting as many people off the planet as possible. He's a big believer in second chances and making sure everyone has the opportunity to survive. And walking away from this and just not doing anything would not have sat well with him. But the more we're talking about it, it's like there is no good solution here. If we can't figure out what's going on under the planet, there is no solution in which we don't either break the Prime Directive or break our own ethics by just dooming millions of people to death without doing anything. So he's kind of stuck at the moment. There may be a conversation forthcoming with the captain at some point once we've got some more information, but he doesn't really know one way or the other right now.
A quandary indeed. And Dr. Bosh, now presumably he can come up with a good solution, which is obviously one where he makes a profit.
Yeah. I have some ideas on, double checking whether anything's edible and whether and anything that's on the planet that we can sell off. Maybe actually, follow the lower decks idea of maybe there's some sort of creatures here that we could turn this into an amusement park. And if the thing is, if everyone crash lands on it, then there's a constant supply of workers that can't get away again.
Indeed, very much also the Magato plan.
Also important to note that anything on this planet is about to become very rare and possibly an endangered species. So
fantastic.
You could charge a premium for that.
Damn straight.
And this, of course, may include the landing party.
What landing party?
Speaking of endangered species.
Yeah. So let's bring ourselves back into the game and see how you resolve this. And hopefully nobody will complicate the quandary any further for you. And let's refresh ourselves as to exactly where we are with a log.
Chief Medical Officer's log, stardate 57379.2. And we've crashed. The shuttle Sherman. Although I did try and sell the R from that to, or the E, some of the painters weren't really up to scratch. So it looks like Sherman when it crashed. But we crashed the Sherman at least, and not the Livingstone. We are, hilariously, the rescue party for a group of scientists here on Organa 3. It seems the planet is inhabited by the Lormeans, some kind of sentient beetle. I wonder what kind of snuff they would make. If I could do some kind of deal to find that out. I mean, I know some species are a bit funny about their remains, but I mean, I'd better keep up rule of acquisition 203. New customers are like razor-toothed greenworms. They can be succulent, but sometimes they bite back. And these guys are pretty big. At least we've been led to the scientists we were looking for, who have told us about how the planet is steadily breaking apart due to geological instabilities resulting from some kind of underground equipment. They seem to have got a bold plan to use the Lormeans anti-grav technology to relocate to another planet nearby. There is going to be profit in this somewhere, right? Probably not. This is frustrating. Anyway, I'd better move quickly, though, as Rule 125 tells us that you can make a deal, or you can't make a deal when you're dead, and the Lorians will soon be that, definitely. Commander Wraal has decided we need to get into some underground tunnels to see what we can do about these instabilities. It's cold and it's dank, which as a Ferengi should make us feel really comfortable. It's not very rainy underground, though, which I do really miss the rains of Ferenginar. But I can't shake the feeling that I'm passing through the gates of the eternal destitution. Over.
So, here you are at the entrance. Thank you very much. Yes, at the entrance to this long cavernous tunnel, and that's why my background is the way it is. Although this is far, point the right direction, this is far better lit than the one that you're going into, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Would you like to proceed? Is there anything you'd like to do before proceeding? What, to coin a phrase, would you like to do?
Check threat and momentum levels first.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Yes. I'm glad you remembered. Thank you. You have 5 momentum, and I have
Fab.
5 threat.
Oh, evens. That makes it
Carried
fun.
over from the last game.
Oh, someone note that down. The first time we've ever been nearly the same level as momentum as threat.
Before we go into the tunnels, Davok would like to flip out his tricorder and go.
Yes, and
And scan
not
the
scanning
tunnel.
anything. Okay, you want to scan the tunnel. There are many
Yeah.
things you can do with the tricorder. That's why
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely sure. Okay, yes, you can scan ahead. Are you scanning for anything in particular?
We can scan Ed.
Yeah.
A head.
Oh,
Oh, a head.
head.
well, he does have a nice head.
So
And it's very warm and sweaty.
that's tunnel. Do we? Hmm.
Yeah, what are you
Yes,
scanning for?
We're not on the lookout for any particular material, are we? So maybe that it's safe for us to go in. So either like, is the air breathable? Is the construction sound? That kind of thing.
Okay, absolutely. The air is breathable. It's a large opening into the ground. So yes, the air is basically the same as what you're breathing on the surface. In terms of safety, there have been a lot of geological instabilities, and obviously going underground has its share of dangers where that's concerned. However, within the range of the scanner on the tricorder, you can't see any imminent threats.
Wonderful.
What else do you want to know?
I mean, I don't know. Team?
Um,
Anything you want to find out?
I'm concerned by these sort of other life forms, these sort of spider creatures. Whether there's some kind of, is there some sort of web that's going to alert them? Is there, is it suddenly, written in perfect prose in the web? Is their leader called Charlotte? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what to search for. I'm a
I like to
doctor,
search
damn it.
for
Not
life
a-
signs?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, nothing within range. I'm not having rolls on the because operating a tricorder and scanning it is like second nature for Davok.
I should hope so.
No, no life forms that you can see.
All right. Shall we?
At the risk of sounding like we're about to enter some sort of dungeon delving, maybe we should form some sort of marching order here. My thinking is Reggie and security out the front, he says, with small paper models. Stand by. There we go.
Reggie and Kitus at the front.
In the front. I think Wraal can be just behind them. And we'll probably have Tana up with Wraal. And I think Davok and the Doctor at the back bringing up the rear.
I'm all right with that.
Okay.
Fairly sensible.
And sorry, where was Wraal going?
Oh, I'm kind of in the middle, if you know. It's like almost like if there's space, like 2, 2, 2.
Okay, Tana and Wraal. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can go 2 by 3, no problem at all.
Sort of pairs. Okay, and Wraal will suggest for everyone phases out and maximum stun settings. Everybody, let's not blast too big a holes and stuff. But if we see anything, I want it dropped.
We come in peace, shoot to kill.
Yeah, I feel like it would be wise that I would keep an eye on the tricorder as you go through to pick up any life signs.
Yeah, Davok, you keep scanning as we delve deeper. Reggie, keep your eyes open in front, and your ears, and your antenna.
Okay. And with that, you head down into the planet's surface. Apologies to our viewers. Restream does not seem to be working with regards to the chat, and I don't know why. There we go. I don't know why, but it's not. It should be, but it's not. Anyway, I'll try and keep an eye on chat as best I can, because I've only just seen that it's not working. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, so yes, you start heading down into the interior of the planet. And it is indeed, as Bosh has said, it's cold and it's dank and it's humid. And you're all, maybe not Davok, and I don't know about Andorians, but the rest of you certainly are, beads of sweat are forming as you head into this really humid cavern. You're using your lights on your phasers, I believe. Is that correct?
I've got some wrist lights, I think.
Wrist lights, using wrist lights. Okay, yes, which is... one of the great things about these wrist lights is when you've got large cavernous areas like this, they as much highlight the shadows as anything else. So maybe you're feeling a little bit on edge. Maybe you're noticing lots and lots of movement, but actually it's just as your light plays above a stalagmite. Mites go up, tights come down. A stalagmite sort of flicks a shadow across. But Davok, you're keeping a close eye with your tricorder. Now, do you have a tricorder in one hand and your phaser in the other, or are you also using lights?
I would not have my phaser if I was using my tricorder.
You're using your lights and your tricorder. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You've been walking in for maybe half an hour at this point, unless there's anything, shout out if you want to stop and do anything, but you've been following this tunnel in. Unfortunately, it is just a single tunnel in. I thought that was a person at the back of yours there, Alastair. Looked like Han Solo sat down. Yeah. Been going in for maybe half an hour, maybe 35 minutes, something along that nature. I'm going to get a roll from you now, Davok.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a reason and science roll. I'm going to say difficulty 0 because I'm feeling really generous.
Watch me fail this miserably. No, I got 2 successes.
2 successes, so you get an extra momentum.
Max out.
And you get an extra bit of information, don't you, when you succeed with or is that just when assisted by the ship?
Good question.
Yes. Whenever you use a tricorder or ship systems.
Yay.
Right. Excellent. So I'm going to give you 2 bits of information. One is you're detecting a seismic instability starting. You've not felt it yet, but it is kind of pending. There is a shift in the tectonic instabilities around the area that is building, and also the caverns that you're in so far have been fairly stable. They're getting less stable as you progress down.
Oh no. So I've got some bad news.
Is that rumbling underfoot?
And
Reggie's
funnily enough, just as you say I've got some bad news, everyone starts to feel a tremor beneath their feet.
Oh, and I'll relay what I know. I didn't know what to do.
Well, we know for a fact that the erstwhile doctor Sherman, not Sharman, was right. There's definitely some instabilities down here. He said 6 months he gave it?
6 months to give the planet, yeah.
Wonder how long we've got in this cave.
Sorry, the 6 months, I believe, is how long he thinks it would take to evacuate the planet.
Oh.
I believe the planet has substantially less.
So there's some sort of, now if I remember this, we're still sort of tracking some sort of generator underground which is causing this problem.
Some kind of machinery.
Yeah.
So Davok, can you Can you
Those
scour?
tremors are increasing, by the way.
Can you lock onto any sort of signal that might be the generator? Are we heading in the right direction?
Can I hear anything?
Rumble, rumble.
You can hear a lot of rumbling. Yeah.
But no kind of mechanical. There's no like additional high hos or other people chattering as they do stuff, or like
No.
I don't know, machinery clinking, chains, or other things that you may hear in a cavern.
All you can hear at present is massive rumbling, rocks falling,
Oh, do we want to continue or go back?
stones shifting, that sort of thing, and it's getting louder and louder and louder.
Okay, everyone. I think press on is the key. We can't go back empty-handed here.
Okay.
Reggie, mind the rocks. Watch out for those rocks, Mr. Davok.
Okay, Reggie.
As
You're not
this
gonna help me or
particular
something. One of them stock
instability
helmets.
builds to a crescendo, everyone give me a daring and security roll. Difficulty 1.
Two successes for Clytus.
2 successes. You're at maximum momentum at the moment, so
Okay.
May I have a momentum, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank
you're
you.
supposed to call it before you roll.
In that case, I failed.
It was a daring.
Daring and security.
Security.
I have 1 success.
1 success is what you need.
Reggie
I
got 1
have-
success, and Wraal got 1 success as well.
Excellent.
I have no successes and a natural 20.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay. So, Davok and Tana Soul. Basically, what's happening, rocks are falling from the ceiling. Oh my goodness. So, Davok, first of all, Davok, you take 2 points of stress.
It's but a pebble.
Tana Soul, with your natural 20, I'm increasing the damage dice.
Oh, good.
However, you only take 1 point of stress.
The prophets guide you.
Very, very lucky there.
Oh,
And
fun.
the tremors subside.
So I've got the prophets behind me on that one.
Yeah, is it worth just keeping an eye just to see if there's some sort of strange, eerie ghost hand was over Tana's head at that point?
No,
Catching
any
rocks.
large spectral green hands are off grabbing starships at the moment.
Oh, busy.
How's Reggie feeling about Davok getting hurt?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Right then, Mr. Davok. You're right.
Yeah, I don't think we're wearing the appropriate protective gear.
Yeah, that's right,
to
Mr.
be
You want
on.
one of them? You want one of them Spock helmets, Mr. Davok? It's like a big flashing light on it.
Yeah, one
They're
of
very good for
those.
Vulcans, I believe. Very good. See, I've got antenna. I can hear the rocks coming.
Well, if only I had an
I feels
antenna
them.
too.
I feels them before they get there. You see. Yeah. But anyway, you stick close to me, Mr. Davok. Not too close, obviously. I don't want to get hit by a rock. But you stick close to me.
Well, logically, if I just follow you, I'll be fine. So,
Oh, that's a good idea. Actually, Mr. Wraal, sir, could Mr. Davok stand a bit closer to me, sir? That's fine. Actually, yeah, Davok and Tana just exchange places.
all right.
There we go. I've just moved them up. Davok's now behind Reggie.
Right.
Enjoying this one-man show we've got going on here. just Ed talking to himself for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's only what the captain does. He's like, I've just got paper figures.
Right. Anything else you'd like to do?
Panic slightly, but not because I don't feel emotion. Carry on.
No. Well, I'm picturing it that, and correct me if I'm picturing it wrongly, but I'm imagining Davok as a Vulcan wouldn't have yelped or made any sort of expression. But I'm imagining Tana cried out in a bit of pain.
Yeah, there would have been a bit of yelping, but then when she realised she was actually not too bad, it would have turned into thanks to the prophets.
Oh, you buggering rocks, you!
Looked worse than it actually was.
Them bloody rocks again.
Not the rocks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if nobody would like to do anything else, I'm guessing you're all pressing forward. Onwards
Actually,
further.
can the doctor and I attempt to treat any of the wounds that might have happened in that rock fall there?
You can. You absolutely can.
Sorry, I should explain for the viewers at home that I have a focus as a combat medic, so this is why I'm including myself in this.
You
Yes.
do. Now, did you spend a momentum before leaving the ship to bring a med kit with you?
I have
The
a feeling
doctor-
I
the doctor
wouldn't
has
because
one-
the doctor's here, so
Yeah.
I will pass on that. Yeah.
The doctor has,
Did you-
any additional equipment like your pattern enhancers you wanted to bring, of course, cost you an extra momentum, but you have to bring it with you. I mean, you
Of
can
course,
have a look.
We
and
left
maybe,
those on the
you know,
shuttle, so. But yeah, can Bosh or myself roll some dice and see if we can patch up Sol and Davok?
You absolutely can.
One each.
In each case, yeah, we can do that. Assuming you're using the kit between the two of you, no problem with that. Let me see. I need a daring and medicine check, difficulty 2.
Two successes for Kitus.
Okay.
One success.
One success for Bosh. So do you know what?
I do have a couple of focuses, but I didn't get any. Focuses only trigger if the role is underneath your discipline, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meets or less, yeah.
It's fine.
Well, do you know what? As Tana only got 1 point of stress and Davok got 2, let's apply the difficulty 2 to Davok, and let's apply Tana's as the 1. You are both back up to full stress.
Full stress.
Or
Love it.
minimum stress.
Ah,
Stress.
You've got all your hit points back.
Hey.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as you wend your merry way back down, Davok, let's have another reason and science roll.
okay. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep. I got 1 success with 6.
1 success. Excellent. No tremors this time.
Safe.
But you're getting a ping of life forms.
Oh, life
Ahead.
science. Life science.
It's
Okay.
moving quickly. They're ahead
Going to
and
Are they
but
scuttling?
can't really tell from a tricorder blip. But the blips are certainly moving quickly. And
Are they getting closer?
they are indeed heading in your direction from 50 meters sort of ahead and to the left and about 20 meters below.
Is it just a clear tunnel with no hiding spots?
The tunnel wends and winds.
Hmm.
You are heading generally down, though.
Hmm.
We just haven't had any like turn left or turn right options yet. Okay, I'll hearing that, Reggie will stand somewhat more ready with his phaser and indicate to Kitus to do the same.
Can
Watch out for the
Cletus
corners.
reach out with his Betazoid's empathy and telepathy abilities and see if he can get a read on whether there is aggression coming our way or whether this is just movement?
Now, yes, we were going to... Yes, now this is a... I'm assuming you're... Oh, no. We're going insight and science. Insight and science.
Okay.
On this. I'm going to make this one quite difficult because of reasons. And this is going to be a difficulty 3.
So yeah, I will need a momentum if I'm going to be able to pass it. So, and I'm just going to check I've got this right because this will be my first time in the game spending momentum. This just means that I roll 1 extra d20, right?
Okay. Yeah, you buy
use.
Yeah, you buy a d20 with 1 momentum. If you wanted another d20, it would cost you 2 momentum to buy the second one. Or you could also get another momentum by giving Stu 1 threat for 1 dice. And also, depending on what your skills and abilities are, you can obviously have re-rollable ones. So if you're bold at things, if you buy an extra dice with threat to help with a test, you can often re-roll it. The same with cautious, if you buy it with momentum.
Okay, sadly I don't have either of those, so I think it will just be like a regular buy 1 extra dice. It seems like we probably want to save the rest for if we are about to be swarmed by hostile spiders trying to eat us. So we'll go with 3 dice and see how this goes.
Who said anything about hostile? They could be friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the thing.
2 successes, and the last dice was off by 1, so close but no cigar.
Brave try.
Worth a shot.
Do you have any focuses?
I have reconnaissance training as a focus, and I've got combat empath as a focus.
Ooh, combat empath.
And one of those dice was underneath my science, or match my...
Yeah.
No, it was underneath by 1, actually. It was underneath my science score by 1. What does that do? Someone has to
that
enlighten
gives
me.
you an extra success.
Okay,
So
so
you've got the
just
3.
then. Yeah, just 3. Yeah.
Yep, you get the 3.
Thanks,
So,
Chris.
and you know what this is that's kind of played exactly how appropriate for this situation, because you reach forward and you can sort of feel the emotions. Doesn't quite seem like the right word. This is a very alien mind, very insectoid mind, and you only really it takes you a moment because it's such an unfamiliar sort of metallic tasting mind that you're getting this sense from. But you do get one overwhelming emotion, reaction, feeling from them, which is that of hunger.
I will turn to those assembled behind me and say, "Ready yourselves. We're in imminent danger."
Reggie's antenna twitch.
Okay. Are you holding ground or approaching?
I think
Retreating? What do you want to do?
I think at that Reggie will sort of say, basically, yeah, defensive posture, everybody, and we'll just hold where we are and ready for the approach.
Just a question. Sorry. So, Alastair, you've got Kitus.
Yes.
What rank are they?
A lieutenant, junior grade.
And Ed, you've got Reggie and Wraal.
Yeah.
Cool. So Wraal's commanding officer at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not in charge.
That's what I was worried about. Mr. Wraal, might it be defensive is good, but maybe non-threatening? Maybe weapons pointed not at the things coming towards us?
You think that might be an idea, Doctor? If they're animals, are they going to? Well, they might recognise aggression when they see it. Okay.
These animals are hungry.
Yeah.
I sense we need to brace for battle.
Do we know what they eat? Can I find that out?
Nobody asked
Well, they eat
the
pigskins.
Lormians.
Because they might just like mushrooms or something.
Or beetles.
Can I presume that with that warning of they're hungry came a sense? I mean, yeah. Did I get any read on that from the empathy telepathy rolls, Stu? I mean, I'm sort of presuming that there's an implicit danger there, but if it was strictly no, their tummies are rumbling, then my advice to the commander might be different here.
Well, generally speaking, what Kaita certainly would know in terms of animal and non-sentient emotions or reactions or thoughts is pretty much limited to is it going to kill me? Can I eat it? Can I shag it? Or the rest is just wall.
Feed, fornicate, or fear.
Yeah, it's going to either kill us, eat us, or hump us.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
So
and that's
From
from
all
those
ready.
options,
And
there is one
might
thing
I-
overwhelming.
Might I suggest that they could be hungry for spirituality? Perhaps if we engage them in a spirited debate over the will of the prophets, we could talk them down.
Fantastic, Lieutenant Sewell. I tell you, grab those informative pamphlets whilst Reggie and Kitus brace with their weapons, and I'll have my phaser round ready as well. But do keep those pamphlets
I've got
nearby.
just the one.
This is all highly against the Prime Directive, might I just add.
Well, Bosh is just going to mutter a little bit to Mr. Davok, say, your question about what they eat, I think the answer is Lieutenant Sewell.
Oh, incidentally, as a quick question, when I think it was Reggie said, right, everybody defensive posture, did Davok change out the tricorder for the phaser?
Yes, that would make sense for me to do,
He did.
following an order.
Right. And suddenly, erupting from the ground in front of you
Ooh.
are two, only can be described as some sort of hybrid cross between big beetles and spiders.
Gross.
So very insectoid, but quite angular. The shells or carapaces on their backs have quite angular edges to them rather than rounded, like you would normally expect on a beetle. And they have emerged about 10 foot in front of the party from the ground beneath. And we're going to go into rounds now.
Ooh.
And as you had prepared yourselves and were stealing yourselves, let's go by rank, shall we?
Yeah.
Eelin Wraal.
What a terrible idea. Actually, I'm just heading for my. We haven't used this for a while. Where's my combat?
So,
There it is.
would these be insectnids or arachnoids?
Oh,
Excellent question.
mm.
Let's
like
go with
arachnoids.
arachnoids.
Arachnoids. There we go. I like that.
Arachnoid sounds more like a 50s B movie title.
Arachnoid.
Revenge
Invasion
attack.
of the arachnoids.
Oh,
Okay.
gross. So, do they have 8 legs?
They do.
Okay. And buggy eyes? How many eyes?
Can't see any eyes.
Can't see any eyes. Oh.
They have a collection of not mandibles, but like feelery things on the front of their heads, which is presumably some sort of sensor organs, or what do you call appendages? There's a name, isn't there? For
right. So we cool. So I'm going to take minor action. Now, I could prepare. I could drop prone. Don't think you're going to do that, actually.
You could take cover. There are many. So it's quite a rocky area. You could potentially take cover.
Oh, okay. That is, so that's an option.
I will remind you of something that Reggie made a real point of hammering home to everyone last session. We can use piercing.
Oh, that's very true.
You were told about the hard carapace.
Yeah, let's can I just bring it up in my useful game aids? I think it is somewhere in our little Discord chat, but I can always stick it there again. Phasers, of course, have the charge ability.
They do, and you can use that for piercing too, which means it resists, or it bypasses 2 points of resistance.
Yeah. So I will set phaser for piercing, and I will.
Action.
Yeah, that's a minor action, and as a combat task, I will make a ranged attack on whichever of the two is the closest. Or are they both in the sort of same?
They'll be. Oh no, yeah. You're in the middle, aren't you? Yes, there is one that is kind of in front of you, and another in front of like where Davok is and Reggie.
Oh.
You're behind Kitus, aren't you? So yes, there's sort of one in front of you and Kitus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will. Okay, so having charged with a prepare action, I will take a shot with my phaser. So that will be
difficulty 2.
Is it? It's control and security, and daring and security is melee, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes.
Difficulty 2. Okay, so control and security is 13s. What have we got? Oh, and I get a 10 and a 6. 2 successes.
Ooh,
2 successes. Fantastic. Exactly what you need. So, with the phaser, let's see, it is 4 damage dice plus your security. So 4 plus your security.
3, 4, and security is 3, so 7. Okay.
7 damage dice. Wowzer.
And what do we get here? Oh, okay. I've got a 1 damage, a 2 damage, total of 3, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Starfleet symbols or effects. So those are hits plus the effect of piercing.
Okay. Well, it's not so much that piercing isn't an effect like that, so they would just count as 1.
Mm-hmm.
Piercing is something you've set the phaser to, so that applies regardless. So that's a total of 7 points there, which does get reduced slightly. So even though you've set it on piercing, this carapace is really thick and chitinous and is hard to get through. However, you do quite a strong amount of damage on this creature that definitely looks kind of groggy, I suppose. Basically, you've done an injury.
Ah, okay.
You have done an injury. That is Eelin Wraal's go. So, moving on to the next ranking person, that will be Dr. Bosh. Oh, no, sorry. It's the spiders go first.
It
The
could be.
arachnoids.
They rank.
Could be,
The
however,
arachnoids.
However, team, if we choose to burn 2 momentum, we can keep the initiative and we can have another go, as long as it's the first.
How many momentum do we have left at the moment?
You have 5
4.
momentum.
That's fine.
And I will point out, it's not that they won't get a go unless you kill them all, take them all down before. Sorry, you're on stun, aren't you? Unless you stun them all before. You get chance.
I think we should let them do it. Let them take
Okay.
their turn.
Store it up? Yeah, okay.
But it's a good option. It's a good option to remember. Keep the momentum. Keep the initiative. Okay.
You've got to make sure you do it the first, from the first 2 phases of the round.
Does anyone have that? There's a talent that gives you a bunch of momentum, isn't there?
That's a command one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had
I don't know.
Captain Webb, or I believe Captain Wagner with you.
Wagner. Yeah.
Okay. I thought someone had it. But,
You
That's
need
it,
someone suitably inspiring like Captain Webb leading the
Yes.
landing party.
Definitely a good one to
Take
have.
those. Crush the spiders.
And the arachnoid, which we're now calling them,
Yay!
Alan,
that is...
They weren't beforehand, but Reggie shot them. They were Iraq Placid beforehand.
Excellent. The one that has indeed just been wounded. That one I did say is in front of Kitus. Is actually going to move up to you, Kitus, and is going to take a slash at you.
this is our revenge for Devour, by
with
the way.
his leg. Now, the legs, the legs, you can see are covered in what would a bit like a rose's thorns, but with more of a sharper edge to them. So it's not just pointy; it's slashy as well. And they're covered all over the spider's legs as it tries to slash away at you. Oh my goodness! And with 3 successes, I'll have a point of threat. Thank you very much. It's definitely got through your defences there. So it's going to do... You take 6 points of stress. Now, because that is more than 5, you also have an injury.
Unless we spend momentum.
Unless you
Don't
spend a
worry.
momentum to avoid an injury.
Which
It's okay. This is what red shirts are for, soaking up injury. How do we determine what injury Procaitus has sustained?
So, in terms of injury, mechanically, it's a step towards going down, basically. If you get 2 injuries, you're incapacitated. For flavour, you've just been slashed very heavily on the leg as you drop to one knee. Not quite sure if a tendon's been severed yet. Maybe, maybe not. Is that momentum getting spent?
yeah,
Yes.
spend it. We can get it back.
I can do as because there are. I was reading through the actions,
Oh yeah.
and there is an action called First Aid. Character attempts to stabilize an injured character within reach. This is difficulty 1, daring and medicine. Success means the injured character stabilized will not die, but remains incapacitated. The character, so it doesn't. I thought that might remove his. So if I spent an action doing first aid, it might remove his injury.
No, that would
Oh,
stop
okay.
him from being...
Then the momentum.
Then burn the momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get more.
To
Can't get more
burn
injury.
that momentum. That was that spider's go. Arachnoid, sorry. Yes, we are now round to Bosh.
I won't do first aid then. I'm going to do a minor action that is definitely dropping prone and not cowering.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, you have a choice kind of equally there. You can either duck behind a rock. There is
Oh no,
a large rock
he's
to the
going
side.
full quark, kind of flat to the floor. Full prone, yeah.
Okay.
But he is going to. So that's a minor action, and then he's going to take a phaser fire at the one that is the one that's further from the group, so he should get a cleaner shot at.
So we haven't decided which way round you and Tana are. So are you behind Kitus?
I was towards the
and
back.
Wraal? You are, but you've got either got Kitus and Wraal in front of you, or you've got Davok and Reggie.
Davok and Reggie.
Davok and Reggie. So the furthest one from you would be the one that has already been injured.
Okay. Whichever one I've got the cleanest shot on.
Either or.
Okay. Well, I'll take the one that. Yeah, I'll stun out the one that's already being a nuisance.
Excellent. So that is a difficulty 2 with control and security.
Right. So control and security is a 12. So the 17 doesn't do a lot. And to focus on a talent, never place friendship above profit, my hailing frequency symbol means that I get auto success or whatever the
2 successes.
That would be 2 successes anyway. So yes, that's 2 successes.
Critical success.
Fantastic. So give us a roll of 4 plus your security in damage dice.
4. That's 2 hailing frequency symbols and 2 double blasts. And then my security is 2 more hailing frequency symbols and a blank. So 4 hailing, 2 double splats.
Okay, that's a total of 8, if I'm not mistaken, because the hailing frequencies are just 1.
Okay.
Unless there's a specialist applied. You point your phaser, you hold it prolonged onto this spider. It's not quite getting through the shell, and you just hold on, and you think you're about to burn out the phaser when suddenly the arachnoid collapses to the floor.
Just about to point out another momentum spend is you can spend 1 momentum to gain 2 penetrating if you need it.
You can. But that would be your minor. Oh, you can do that with a momentum, can you?
You can do it with a momentum. Obviously, that's a spend, and it is. It says it is. Sorry,
because you can use a momentum for an extra minor action. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Go for
probably
the eyes,
multiple ways of
Go
doing
for the
that.
eyes.
It ignores 2 resistance for every momentum spent.
Right. Well, that's one to bear in mind. We shall see what his mate's going to do after the break. We will be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. That's an order.
hailing frequencies are open.
And we are back. Don't worry about Bosh camera being off. It's just he's on an important phone call. So he will be back with us as and when he can. In the meantime, we've got lots and lots of time to kill all the other players. So, how we feeling about this tunnel?
Oh, it's awful.
I mean, it's
going great.
But
Fire the
people to
insect.
hand out some nice pamphlets too.
Yes. Yes, is Tana still thinking about spreading the word of the prophets to these arachnoids?
Always. No, her defensive brain is about to kick in. So
Good.
The old lizard brain, fantastic. And Davok get hit by rocks.
Yeah, not a big fan of that.
Vulcan reflexes were supposed to be good.
Not today. Okay.
No.
I was concentrating too much on the tricorder and not on my surroundings.
And the limp. Don't forget the limp.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not nimble. I mean, my stats don't make me nimble.
That's a very,
Well,
very
actually, that's a lie. I do all that skipping. Well, I'm not too
You
bad
do.
on fitness.
Should have just skipped past the rocks.
Yeah. Right. Well,
Fantastic.
whenever I'm moving fast, I'm skipping. Let's just make that canon.
At that moment, you were moving too stealthily. Yeah.
Yeah.
And poor old Kitus,
Well,
he's had a bit of a nasty to do, hasn't he?
rough start, but Kitus is probably focused on putting revenge on the menu now, so I'm sure he'll get his own back against these arachnoids.
Right, revenge is a dish best served legless. Well, the one that attacked Kitus is now unconscious, so that's got to be good, right?
Yeah. Throw that one out the window.
They can be taken down. This is a good thing.
They can indeed, and if anyone can, Reggie's got to be the man to do it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh,
Oh, he's got to look after Mr. Davok. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, shall we bring ourselves back in to this combat situation we find ourselves in, where two arachnoids have erupted from the ground in front of you all. One has come in and attacked Kitus, but been brought down by a combination of phaser strikes from both Eelin, Wraal and Dr. Bosh. And we are back around to the arachnoids. And I'm saying multiple because although there is only one left standing in front of you, there is an eruption from the ground behind you, Davok, as another one bursts up from the ground. Something else you are told quite clearly. They travel in packs of 3 and 4. If you see 2, there are more. And yes, one erupts from the ground behind you, Davok. Right behind you.
That's a
And
move
takes a
action
slash
shot.
at you with his legs.
Reggie.
this is the problem, Mr. Davok.
And Davok must have been skipping at the time because with a 16 and a 19 does not come close to you. Oh my goodness. Now, who's the next highest ranking person? That's going to... Now, would Reggie count as being ranked? Because he doesn't have a rank, does he?
Well, he's chief. He's chief petty officer. So he's not. He works for a living. I work for a living. So all the officers get to go first.
So even though he's head of security, he would go last then.
Yeah,
so
it's a
it
role,
is
not a
going
rank.
to be Lieutenant Commander Davok.
This arachnoid it's right up in my grill. Yeah.
It is right up. It's right up in your back. It's virtually pops out and
So I'll turn around.
Remember what I said, Mr. Davok. Get your phaser settings. Get your phaser settings before you hit with it. Yeah.
All right. I will fiddle with my phaser setting. To, what is it? Precision.
Use the one I've got.
Piercing.
Use the same as mine. Copy mine.
Okay. All right. Whatever Reggie did.
you use a minor action to set your phaser to piercing.
All
To
right.
avoid
And
some
then
of this
I will.
creature's resistance.
I will think of Reggie's instructions and shoot the thing in front of me.
Okay. Give me a control and security roll, difficulty 2.
Do you want an extra dice in there? What's Davok's?
I will, because this isn't going to be very likely for me.
You're down to 4.
Control and security, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you want to spend the momentum?
Yeah, I will be.
Down to 3 now.
Which I got 2 successes.
There we go.
2 successes. Exactly what you need. So roll me 4 plus your security in damage dice.
And that is 6. And I get 2 blanks, 2 starfleets, and 2 2s.
And 2 2s, giving you a total of 6. You resist some of the damage, of course, but you still do just enough damage, and I mean just, to do an injury as you knock this creature sideways.
Good. I'll blow off its legs with it.
Good shot, Mr. Davok.
Attack me, man.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody legs off.
Yeah.
Now he's
We
down, Mr. Davok. So
are
kick him in the knackers.
back around to the arachnoids, and there is one tantalizingly in front of Reggie, which is going to run up to him with his minor action
Reggie bears his antenna at him.
and is going to take a slash. And comes dangerously close. A bit of the fabric of Reggie's uniform gets ripped as this creature rolls a 7 and a 15. Doesn't quite cut it. See what I said there? Cut it. Because it's got like razors for legs. Anyway, that is that creature's go. Oh my goodness, we are back around now. This time, I'm going to say Kitus because Kitus is at the front of the group. And
Sure,
Kitus
I
is
think
security.
Minor action to set the phaser to piercing, and then a shot at the. I suppose from where I am, the one at the front is probably the logical choice here, so we'll go for that.
You have the unconscious one that attacked you in front of you. You have one in front of Reggie. So that's pretty much in front of you. And one behind Davok.
Yeah, it seems like sort of turning back around to shoot the one behind Davok would be a bit tougher. So we'll go for the one in front of Reggie here.
Mechanically, it wouldn't be any more difficult.
Oh, okay. Which has taken injuries again, or have they both taken injuries?
The one behind Davok. Davok has injured the one behind him.
In that case, we'll pivot around and take a shot at that one and try and take one down. So
Difficulty
control
2
and
with your
security.
control and security, yeah.
Brilliant. That's 2 5s there, which are both successes.
Focus.
They are indeed. Well, do you have... What's your security score?
Yeah, sadly
Is it
not enough
4?
for a focus. It's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, 2 successes is exactly what you need. Roll me your 4 damage dice plus... Well, it's going to be 8 damage dice, isn't it?
Oof.
If it's 4 in security.
Mm-hmm.
So shields are... Starfleet symbols are 1s here, right, Stu?
They are on this occasion, yes. They're counted as a special, so if you'd used a specialised action like some weapons have deadly or vicious and things like that, so they can do extra damage depending on what you use your minor action for, or what
Okay,
the traits of the weapon are.
This time round, over 8 dice, I scored 8.
Scored 8, and you did use piercing. And indeed, the one behind you, Davok, you'll be very glad to hear, collapses to the floor.
Thanks, Titus.
Now, all the arachnoids around you have all had a go. However, it is the turn of the one that is coming up from the floor, right behind Bosh,
That's 4.
as it takes a slash at you with its nasty old legs. Oh my goodness, and no, you're safe there, Bosh, as well, with an 11 and a 19.
Over my head.
So close to a fail there. I think it's where you'd gone prone previously.
Lucky.
Managed to avoid that. We are round now eventually to Lieutenant Tana Saul.
Yeah, nothing fancy here. I'm just going to follow suit and charge up the phaser and shoot. Have any of them at this point taken damage, or are they all the ones still standing fresh?
Neither of the two remaining. No, one is hassling Reggie. The other has just taken a swipe at Bosh. But no, neither of them have been taken down.
That one's really close to me then if it's on Bosh, so I'll go ahead and shoot that one.
Again, mechanically there's no difference. Except one's more threatening to you, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just got 2 successes.
Yay.
Yay! Exactly what you need. You sound surprised.
Yeah, well, I'm not like I've got a security score of 1, so I wasn't expecting to succeed this. But
Excellent.
Yeah, 4 and a 6.
Excellent. Roll me 5 damage dice then.
Let's see. Oh, not great. I only got 1 and a Starfleet insignia. So 1 and an effect.
Oh, well, remember,
2
you
and an
could use the
effect.
momentum to re-roll the whole pool of damage dice.
Oh.
Or pick and choose from it. So, yeah, the good ones you can keep, but you can re-roll all your damage dice for 1 momentum and shoot and sort of lock in the ones that you want to keep.
Is that a point of determination, Ed, that ability? Or can you
No,
do
it's
either?
just a momentum spend in combat.
Okay.
Alright, do we want to sacrifice another momentum? We'll be down to 2.
If you think, I mean, do you think you can get a better result by locking in the good ones and redoing all the blanks?
Can't get a worse result.
That's it. Yeah. Let's do
Alright,
that.
yeah, I'll do it.
Spending that momentum,
Here
you
goes.
are now down to 2.
Here goes nothing. That's more like it. No blanks. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 Starfleet insignias.
7.
That's 5 total, including the Starfleet insignias.
Oh,
sorry,
5
they're also like
including the Starfleet.
yes, it's 5 total, and the effect for that.
Okay, and yes, the arachnoid does resist a little bit of that, but you've definitely done some damage there. You feel as you held on to the phaser button just that little bit longer to get the damage in. That, I believe we are back around to the top of the round, back around to
Reggie.
Eelin Wraal.
Reggie.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Oh, sorry, sorry, my bad.
I'm
My
not on my go
bad.
yet. Excuse me,
Reggie.
Mr. Ghostbuster, sir. I'm not on my go.
Reggie, indeed.
Right, I think Reggie for a minor action will set piercing.
Yeah.
just like I showed Mr. Davok, obviously. And he's going to go for shoot the one that's bothering him right in the face, or faces, or whatever it is. It's
Fantastic.
clicking up at him. Yes, guys, that's pretty good. That's 2 successes, but nothing He's got to focus in hand phases, but it doesn't trigger. So
Okay, 2 successes, what you need. Give me all those damage dice. 4 plus security.
4 plus his security of 4. Wow, 8.
8.
Oh,
8 damage dice.
it's all the damage. It's all the dice. And what do we get here? We've got many symbols, so many effects, but in total we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. This was the one in front of you, as you do indeed do quite a lot of damage that would indeed affect an injury, except I'm going to spend a threat to avoid an injury. Now we are back to the top of the round, and we are on to Eelin Wraal.
Right. Eelin won't it now. Hang on. So we've essentially still got 2 bothering us in the party here, haven't we?
You have one is behind Bosh, and one is in front of Reggie. So they are diagonally on. The one behind is the one in line with Reggie, with Eelin. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. So again, no particular. As he's stood in the middle, as he's seeing the party surrounded, but everyone seems to be holding their own a little here. Okay, as my security chief is doing okay there, I'll assist our less experienced engineering officer and a doctor by turning around and blatting at that one there by again setting piercing and having a shot.
Okay, give me that shot.
First, begging your pardon, Doctor, stand still. 12 and a 10, that is 2 hits.
2 successes, excellent. Roll those damage dice.
And Eelin is going to be 7 dice. Not quite enough for that. 7.
He's got a security of 3.
Yes.
Bugger.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've rolled 4 effects within that.
Okay, so that's 5 total, is it?
5 total,
counting
yes.
each effect as a 1. Yeah. Okay, and that was the one behind Bosh. So that, it plugging away at it, but it's still up. That would be that one's go, but it's gone. Dr. Bosh.
So I'm going to minor action, and apologies for missing. I hope I didn't miss anything particularly.
You did not.
Good.
Except for the one that came up out of the ground behind Davok.
Gotcha.
That's still there. So kind of up close to you.
I'm going to minor action aim. And again, the one that's up behind, close to myself and Davok, that's the one I'm going to take some shots at.
Give us a quick reminder mechanically what aim does.
A character may re-roll a single d20 made an attack before the start of their next turn.
Excellent. So
I love the aim. It's just so simple. Just re-roll. Just re-roll really nice.
And sorry, what am I? Is it? This is daring and security.
No, it's control and security. Difficulty 2.
They're the same numbers.
Dr. Bosh, equally as bad with melee as with ranged weapons.
They're both 9s, so they're all right.
In season 1, he was pretty deadly with it. He was the only one who could hit anything with effects.
Yeah. It's fitness is where I have problems. Fitness and con would just that's an 8 in total. But yes, can someone remind me what quick study does?
Pass.
Is that as a talent?
A talent. Now, I will say, actually, this is difficulty 2. I got a 12, and I got a 2, which is below my security.
Okay, well, the 2 below your security counts with your focus. Sorry. No, do you have a focus that might apply?
I mean, I could argue it, but probably not.
Try me.
I
often say yes.
have a focus in trauma surgery, so I know where dangerous wounds are that need to be dealt with quickly, and where people get incapacitated fast. So I know the points to hit to cause that trauma.
And this is the one specifically behind. It's tenuous.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say yes, and the reason I'm going to say yes is this
one explodes.
Was hit with a what would have been an injury, so clearly the wound is there, and recognizing that that's a particularly sensitive wound, even though it didn't get injured from it. Yes, you can zero in on that particular one.
I have
that
aimed,
focus applies.
I have aimed at the Bobo.
You have indeed. Give me your damage dice, 4 plus your security.
So the 4, 2 blanks, a 1 and a 2.
Okay.
And the 3 is a hailing frequencies and a 1 splat. So I think that's 2. So 5 in total.
Of 5. Total of 5, which gets reduced because of its. You're catching it on its shell, basically,
Carapace.
as you're aiming for the wound. But some of your phaser strike does go in the wound and do some damage. That was that one. That was that one. We are back around. So hang on, I'm just working this out. Sorry, bear with me. Stand by, everybody. That's Wraal. That one, Bosh. That one, which has already gone down. We are around to Lieutenant Commander Davok.
All right. Is there one that looks worse off?
Yes. Yes, the one behind the party that Bosh has just hit.
Okay. I will set my phaser to precision, and then I will
Precision or piercing?
Oh, piercing. That's it.
Okay.
Cool. And then I will shoot the arachnoid.
Give me your dice rolls.
Okay, so that is control and security. I got 1 success and I got 20.
So, you hit the arachnoid. However, you hit it where its carapace is angled quite steeply. There is some feedback from the phaser blast. It basically ricochets off. You do some damage to the arachnoid, and you yourself are going to get damage from this as well. Roll your damage dice as if you would have hit, and we are going to split it between both of you.
Ah, damn. Okay. That's a good thing my security's pretty low then, isn't it? Oh, 4 blanks, and 2 and a Starfleet, so 3 in total.
So 3 points of damage. The arachnoid takes 2 of those. And it collapses to the floor as you take a point of stress as well.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Reggie's clearly quite impressed with Mr. Davok taking a bit of a hit whilst taking out an enemy here.
Yeah, I imagine that looked
Probably
pretty
a soul in that
spectacular.
one. Always said so.
Let's hope Reggie is nicely distracted as the one in front of him is actually going to try and take a bite at Reggie.
Oh no!
Now if it's a melee attack, if it's a melee attack, is it an opposed roll between it and Reggie, or?
So melee attacks, don't they operate the same as?
They're
still a difficulty 2.
They're one difficulty. They're difficulty 1, but they're opposed. So you need to get more successes than the person you're fighting with, as opposed to a range shot where you just are taking the hit against them.
Right, okay, we'll go with that. I need to recheck the melee rules, because I probably should have been doing that right from the word go. Because
we get excited, we enjoy.
Creatures.
Where we're going, we don't need rules.
Attacks, no, we're talking melee. Daring and security task, difficulty 1, opposed by the target's daring and security. If the target wins the opposed task, they are considered to have made a successful attack instead.
Okay.
Risk reward.
So yes, as it leaps in, baring its mandibles, going for Reggie's throat. What does Reggie get?
Hang on. There we go.
We need fight music.
Now, Reggie has
Now it's in
got.
your head. Yeah.
Reggie has got 1 success.
Who can name that piece of music, by the way?
Star Trek.
Gone
fight
again.
music.
Again.
Isn't
No,
it
it's
like
called
the arena or something like that?
The episode was Arena.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
called The Ritual.
Oh, I did know that.
No, Arena was the one with the Gorn.
Yes.
Arena was the one with the Gorn. I always
It was-
think of the fight.
I knew it was
yeah.
something like that.
It was
yeah.
a mock time was the Spock fighting episode with that. But yes, it's called The Ritual. Yes. Anyway, yes. You got 1 success.
One
Sorry.
success.
So against my 11 and 18 that I rolled, which gives me 0 successes.
Yay.
That counts. You say that counts as a strike, as a melee strike?
Yes, it says if the target wins the opposed task, they are considered to have made a successful attack instead.
Yay.
Right. Well, I'm not going to count this as a phaser strike. This is going to be an unarmed strike. An unarmed strike from Reggie.
Okay, it's 5 damage dice for this one. Oh, I should have got my Shantor out. I'm going to slice it to pieces. Oh, however, Reggie scored. There's no effect dice, but he scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically, 3 2s and 2 1s.
No.
8 damage, which obviously without piercing on the phaser gets resisted by 3. However, the arachnoid had 5 stress remaining as it leaps in with its mandibles flashing and clacking, and Reggie just bops it one with his full-on fist, and the arachnoid
Kirk chop
collapses to the floor, and we bring ourselves out of combat. Defeat of the arachnoids. Well done. Oh my goodness.
Was that the right decision, though?
I thought, do you know what? I've got you because I'm going to bring 2 of them up behind you.
They mostly come out the ground, mostly.
That's it. Well done, everyone. And yes, as the final arachnoid stops twitching away slightly earlier than normal, we are going to leave it there for this evening. So well done indeed.
Success.
Oh my goodness. Reggie
Only a
does
little
Kirk
bit of
Fu
injured.
indeed, Ben. Oh my goodness. So we've not been engaging with chat so much. Hello to everyone in there, Ben and Luna and Captain Quinn and some bloke Mad Turnips who keeps apologising for stuff.
Mad.
Alaka.
Sounds like someone we should avoid.
To be fair, when I said something earlier and gave information, all I got was thanks, Amy. So, yep, fine.
Yeah, quite right. There we go. Oh my goodness! So, you're in tunnels. You've nearly had the tunnel collapse on you. You've fought off some beasties. How are we feeling now?
Feels like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is what we count as a normal Wednesday. It's between day 1 and day 2 this week, so it's a normal day. Welcome.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask, with the star dates, how is that timed wise? So what do the numbers mean?
It's not so much that their numbers mean anything, except for the fact that they are sequential.
Oh, okay.
And
so it's just, this is number 2.
Each star date, each full star date is approximate, not quite, but approximately 1 Earth day.
Right.
So you can pretty much work out, is it in the Earth morning, afternoon, or evening by whether it's 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3.
Okay.
I think I've got that right.
I think so.
I use an online converter. Schmitz it's Schmitz something or another. For
Easy
some
for you
reason
to say.
For some reason it's got a picture of Winnie the Pooh as his icon. Which is obviously very Star Trek. Yeah.
He wears the red shirt.
That's true.
Yes.
Oh no!
But does
the
that
notion
mean-
that Winnie the
does that
Pooh
make
could
it
be the captain.
I was going to say,
Just a
like,
command track.
doesn't Kirk have a thing for honeypots as well? So kind of
Could
fits the
absolutely
vibe.
say that.
That's certainly one way of saying it.
So does Captain Webb.
Oh yeah.
Winnie the Pooh's just come into what's it called, common domain or whatever, out of copyright recently as well.
Public domain.
Has it?
Yeah. Apparently, one of the things that keeps him in copyright is if you use the red shirt on him. Apparently, that's strictly a Disney Winnie
It
the
is.
Pooh characteristic. But if you put a Starfleet insignia on it, I wonder if you get away with it or not. That's the question.
Starfleet
have a whole-
uniforms are
yeah.
technically copyright material.
So you'd have to pay Disney and Paramount for the
And
privilege of
Paramount,
having
yeah.
Captain Pooh at the helm.
And do we know
Yeah.
the city after which that particular bear was named?
Yes. And more, if you want. Winnie the Pooh was named after, well, sort of. Winnie the Pooh was named after a bear in London Zoo that was named after Winnipeg because it was a bear that was used as a mascot for one of the Canadian regiments that I'm sure you'd know, but I can't remember.
It was. He was bought for, I believe, $20 from a trapper on a railway station when they were on the
Yep.
way to the eastern side of Canada to get on the boat to head over to England and for training, and therefore to France after that.
So they just randomly bought a bear at a train station and managed to get it halfway across Canada because Winnipeg is pretty much in the middle of nothing, all the way out to kind of it would be Newfoundland. I'm sure that's where they loaded boats. That Nova Scotia way.
Those seaboard.
Yeah, kept a bear just on a boat. And then,
Actually.
then they realised, couldn't take him into D-Day or whatever it was. So that's when he ended up sort of towards London Zoo type thing.
Can you imagine the German surprise if one of those amphibious landing trucks' door swung open and a man riding a bear ran out? That would be insane.
I mean, in World War II, they were shocked enough when a guy came down the ramp in a kilt playing bagpipes. Yes, exactly.
Firing a longbow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they thought he was
Mad
mad,
Jack.
so they didn't. Didn't bother firing at him.
Isn't it Mad
I've got
Jack
to
Churchill?
say,
Is that his name?
Something.
That's
Yeah.
hearing all these discussions from you all discussing poo is absolutely brilliant because it beats me where I usually talk shit. Anyway,
Okay.
on that note, now there won't be a Star Trek at Livingstone session in a fortnight's time. We're having a little bit of a break. Oh, speaking of poo, it's because some of us are off to Honeyfest.
Mm.
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
not? Some of us, yes, looking forward to that. So, yes, so we'll be away. We'll be back in hopefully 4 weeks' time. So, yeah, so no session on the 24th. We'll skip that one, but we'll see. Do you know, I've always, as a GM, I've often joked like, oh, yeah, rocks fall, everybody dies. This is the first time in an adventure that I've had the opportunity to have rocks fall on you, so I'm glad nobody died, really.
Yet.
But we'll see what else we can throw at them next time here on Star Trek Livingstone on Hailing Frequencies. Make sure you join us. In the meantime, peace and long life.
See you later.
Live long and prosper.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.